Hey everyone, this is Stephen Rubenstone, the founder and author of the Nestomir science fiction series. So one question we've been hearing a lot is coding hard to learn? And I think it all comes down to the teacher and understanding what we're calling, even in our Nestomirian lore, conceptual underpinnings, meaning you can learn out of a textbook, you can learn out of a curriculum, and there's so many online courses and tutors out there to learn coding and engineering. But when you go into the real world like we did, it's not the curriculum that matters so much. It's the conceptual blocks. There's going to be roadblocks in any tough topic, and if you don't have a creative teacher that can get you around those hurdles, you're gonna get stymied very quickly. And I remember learning coding from Code Academy, and this is honest. This is not a competitor bash. I think these tools are incredible out there that teach you coding. But when I was 21, I took the JavaScript track, and I learned about for loops, and I learned how to write the physical code. But it just never clicked fully. I was never energized. And 10 years later, sitting next to senior developers, running my first company, what I learned is you need to be immersed in the culture, in the industry, to really understand the purpose of anything you're learning. So, in today's education system, we learn through a syllabus type model, but is every single element of that connected to some type of industry relevant project or topic? The language that professionals use, the style, almost the body language, the cues that aren't even said linguistically are critical. If you're sitting on a desk with engineers, there's a lot of things that go unsaid that are definitely not taught. And that's almost the heart of learning to code is, how do you keep your code clean? How do you keep it dry? How do you simplify things? How do you make things more visual? What is data? That's one of the lessons in our book, and that's why we wrote it. A whole nother side to it, and what's very confusing about coding and software in general, is a very tricky topic to even explain, which is that you've got so much abstraction. And what I mean by abstraction is that the computer has got millions and millions of layers that hundreds and millions of man hours and woman hours have gone into creating. And you can't possibly know all of them at any given time. Actually, it would probably take 1,000 years to learn all of it. So you've got to kind of know what you don't know in the computer and just tap into it from an abstract level. And that can actually be very confusing, and they don't teach that at all. It's this concept of keeping your mind aware, extremely acutely aware to the abstractions happening in software. It could be, am I using a library? Am I using a piece of hardware in the computer that I myself didn't build? We really need to do a way better job of explaining these abstractions, because I'm telling you, I think there's many senior engineers out there who get paid lots of money who don't even know the answers to these questions. And that's another fascinating thing, is that great engineers don't make great teachers. And you need a very special combination of senior talent and teaching ability to show a kid that this piece of code you're writing is interacting on this level, but it's also interacting on a different level as well. And kind of showing this blend of how software moves down thousands, if not millions of layers into the computer's internal mechanisms. That's very hard to explain to anybody, but it's very important to create a very new and bright generation of engineers. We need to let kids understand what's going on conceptually before we start showing them for loops. And I think that there's a lot more education that needs to be developed. We're just starting. But even as we talk about it, we learn more about how to educate. Where are the challenges? And this was a 4-minute spiel on our thoughts on why it's difficult to learn how to code sometimes. But we'll continue to study this topic and continue to weave solutions into our stories.